Hey guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and I was lucky enough to see the new C8 Corvette in person on Wednesday. So I've been up all night editing this video to get it out to you right away. If you're watching this video, remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you are already a subscriber, and leave your thoughts on the C8 Corvette in the comments below. All right, so we saw a C8 in person. Now, this was at Bridgewater Chevy in Bridgewater, New Jersey. Thanks so much for allowing me to film the car. And we're going to go through everything in this video, so watch the entire 10 minutes or so. We'll go through the interior, we'll go through the engine, we'll go through the steering wheels, we'll go through the paint colors, and at the end we'll also go through the controversial rear end. So now, one thing I can say about going to this reveal, and it's not the first one, but I think these cars are touring the country, is the amount of people that showed up for this. So this was like literally 2 in the afternoon, and the line was pretty much out the door to see and sit in this C8 Corvette. So a lot of cars in the parking lot were C7 owners, range from all different ages, older people, middle-aged people, younger people, even kids. And then there was a V8 E92 M3 in the parking lot, a Ferrari California, CTSV. There are all different people, which is great, are excited about this car. So I think Corvette is going to sell all 40,000 of those cars the first year. I wouldn't be surprised if they get orders of 50, 70, 80,000 for this car in the first year. It really looks a lot better in person, I can tell you, than actually seeing it on film here. So if you do get the chance to see the car in person, see it. I'm sure it'll be in the International Auto Show, and you'll probably, hopefully, by the time that rolls around, beginning of the year, you'll start seeing these cars on the street. I don't know what I think about this orange. It's okay. I mean, I think it could have been a better car. I mean, of course, having it in a bright color to kind of show off the lines. I do really like the black wheels. We'll get to my interior thoughts in a second. Now, remember, it's got 2 trunks, so that's a benefit of being a front-drive car. With my Cayman S, I was able to stick my hockey bag in the front. Now, we'll take a deep dive here in this front trunk. It is a lot deeper than you think it is. So we'll put the camera down here so you can see. I probably could fit a hockey bag. You're not going to fit golf clubs because the bag is too long and it's not flexible like a hockey bag. I could probably take my skates out and take my helmet out and probably fit that bag in here. It used to fit fine in my Cayman S, which is a mid-engine rear-drive car just like this, or any 997, 991 trunk, as long as the car was rear drive. The all-wheel drive cars, the trunk wasn't as deep because of the all-wheel drive architecture. But it's going to be a very practical car. We'll show the rear trunk later on. Obviously, the rear trunk is bigger, but it doesn't go down as deep, obviously, as this car does. So here's another just showing you the size of this trunk. Now, I really like with the black wheels here, I think that really sets off the car. I like contrast. If you have a bright color car, I definitely like black wheels. I like black wheels on everything, so that's my opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you think of black wheels. Now, this is only showing about 10% of the people that are there. People were nice enough to get out of my way filming it. Not crazy about the color in the interior, but I really do like the interior. I was able to sit in the car. The steering wheel, we'll do some close-ups on that. Now, with all the people sitting in and out of this car, probably a couple 200 people sat in it, I think this color would get dirty really quickly, so I would probably go with a black or a brown interior. I'm not crazy about these silver, white, and gray interiors. Now, notice the steering wheel, which you'll see right now, has a flat bottom, but it also has a flat top, and it also has 2 spokes. All the way to your right, you see that line. It looks like the grab handle or the oh shit button, but those are actually the buttons. So those buttons were a lot smaller than I anticipated. I expected them to be the same size as a Panamera or the 991, 911s, the 718s, but I'm sorry, not the 718s, the gen before that, but the buttons were a lot smaller in person. Now, people even sat in the car and didn't realize the buttons were there. There's a good look at the seats. Those, I believe, are the competition seats. Now, the 2 steering wheels, you can get in the suede or also a leather wrap wheel, which you'll see in a minute. Here's the leather wrap wheel. I know a couple people have commented they don't like the 2 spokes on the steering wheel. They prefer 3 or more. Now, the reason the steering wheel is flat bottom and so much space, say at the 12 o'clock position, is so you can see the gauges. So it is a little different. It does feel a little awkward when you hold it, but I'm sure we'll get used to it. Now, I think they really hit it out of the park here as far as design goes. Here is, now we'll start talking about the engine. We have a normally aspirated V8, as you know. We'll get some better views of the engine in a second. So now it's a 6.2 liter small block V8, known as the LT2. With the performance exhaust would be 495 horsepower for the base model, 470 foot-pounds of torque. The performance exhaust adds roughly 5 horsepower and 5 foot-pounds of torque. This actually obviously replaces the LT1 engine. Now remember, it's only available one transmission. There will be no manual, so it will be an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. Now the Corvette debuted in 1953, and they've had small block V8s since 1955. Previously, with the C7, you had to get the Z51 package to get a dry sump. Now all Corvettes were going to have a dry sump. Now this LT2 engine has the same redline as the LT1, which is 6,600 RPM. Now it'd be awesome if this had an 8,000 RPM redline, but it doesn't, but it's still cool, and I love the fact that it went mid-engine. We'll do a separate video on the benefits of mid-engine. I know there are people out there that wanted the traditional engine in front. Corvette's changing with the times, and I think this is, the Corvette's been around since 1953. I think this will keep it around another 50, 60 years going to this mid-engine. And again, a lot of the buzz was from people, C7 owners, wanting to trade in their cars to get the C8. So we'll see how it changes the C7 market. I'll do another video on that, how pricing's going to affect that. Surely in the short run, towards the end of the year when production starts, or the beginning of next year when people start receiving their cars, obviously C7 production will take a hit. I sold my E90 M3 when I knew the F80 was coming out, so I got it sold before the glut of E90s and E92s hit the market. Now, of course, they're modern classics and everybody wants one, and who knows, maybe the C7 could have some staying power if it is indeed the last Corvette with a manual transmission, especially a one-year-only model like the ZR1, or obviously the Z06 with 650 horsepower, or I'm sure base Vettes or Z51 Vettes with manual transmissions will surely appeal to a lot of people. So in a few minutes here, we're going to get to the rear end, and we'll also get to the colors at the very end that it's available. It's really a stunning design that you have to see in person. Again, I think Chevy knocked this out of the park. They put a second shift on the Bowling Green plant in Kentucky to be able to produce up to 40,000 cars a year. And they're going to sell a lot of them. I mean, the C7 was pretty popular too. In its best years, they were selling about 35,000 units. So 40 is not a big jump, and that's why I think they're going to well exceed 40. I think they already have about 40,000 orders for this car already. And every YouTube channel is getting one. I've counted at least 20 that are putting orders on C8 Corvette. So I will make a video, which I'll post about my thoughts, what I'm going to do, and so you guys can see that. So remember to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss that. So it looks beautiful from the front. We've already established the interior sitting in it was better than I thought. Those buttons on the interior were smaller, but this is the controversial part, the rear end. Now, one thing I'll say on Chevy's part, that this rear end actually looks a lot better in person. So when I saw those pictures at the reveal, I was like, oh, they screwed up the rear end, but everything else looks good. The rear end doesn't look as bad in person. You still have the quad exhaust, 2 on each side here, but it is... we'll see. Maybe when the Z06 comes out, or the Grand Sport or wide body, I'm sure they'll have a second crack on that rear end. But it is not as bad in person. It definitely wouldn't stop me from buying the car. The rear end is probably the worst exterior compared to everything else, but I mean, it's still really not bad. Now, here's all the colors. You have 12 choices. I like the bottom right-hand corner there, Rapid Blue. The color was obviously orange that you saw on that car. You still have yellows. You have Elkhart Lake Blue, blacks and gray. The special Z06 Carbon Edition gray you have up there. Now here's the rear trunk. Now that's where you would put your roof panel. Your removable roof panel would go there. I would like to see it on the NSX where they put it over the engine with the cover, but it still looks amazing. Okay, guys and girls, thank you for watching that video all the way through. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Share this video so your friends can see the new C8 Corvette. And as always, leave a positive comment below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.